Hello, everyone. I'm Alan West for Next Generation TV. We're here at the Reagan Ranch Center, and I'm joined by high school senior Langston Bowens from Grosse Pointe South High School in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Langston, thanks so much for being here with us.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
Now, Langston, I got to tell you, you really caught my attention with an incredible thing that where you stood up on principle up there at your high school. You wanted to bring in Senator Rick Santorum to give a speech to the students up there. Kind of tell our audience what happened in that request that you tried to make.
Well, back in December, my principal approached me and said, Langston, it's the 45th anniversary of Martin Luther King's speech at Grosse Pointe South. He was later assassinated 3 weeks later, he was assassinated. I said, okay, I'll find you a list of speakers. 4 months later, after another issue that we were dealing with that had been finally solved, I came to my principal with a list of 20 people, an A list and a B list. The A list had a handful of key names. Herman Cain, Rick Santorum, Karl Rove, Steve Forbes were the big four names on the list. We originally picked Herman Cain, wasn't able to do it because of his new radio show. But then my administration picked Rick Santorum. They'd chosen him. We said, okay, great. Drafted an invite, sent it off to Rick Santorum. He said yes. We raised the $18,000 to bring him here. Everything was a go. So for a month and a half, working with the administration and the superintendent of the school district to plan this event out, who's going to go, where it's going to be, what's the itinerary. We estimated 2,000 people would be there. We had everything planned, ready to go. And then we had made the announcement. We went on spring break for a week, came back that Monday. We made the announcement to the teachers first.
This was around April time, early April time frame.
This was April, 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Before this whole issue. We made the announcement to the teachers. And as you can imagine, the teachers were, out of 90, about 15 of them are militant liberal teachers. And they were very angry that we were bringing in Rick Santorum. So they stormed my principal's office and they're like, Santorum's a racist, he's a bigot, he can't be talking to South students at all, it's not appropriate, and we won't show up, we'll protest that day. And so my principal's in like this visible sweat. He is now nervous that he has teachers who are threatening to flee and not be here. So he calls an emergency meeting with the national office of the EF, the superintendent of the school district, my vice chairman, because I was here at the Reagan Ranch at the time, and the principal. And they're in a conference call discussing now the pros and cons of the event.
Sure.
For the most part, they got the pros down. The event looks like it's going to be going on. Midway through the meeting, they asked for a speech, a copy of Santorum's speech to the national office. The national office said Santorum doesn't use a speech. He speaks off the cuff.
Sure.
We can get you talking points if you'd like. That wasn't good enough for my principal or my superintendent. I don't want talking points. I want to see his speech. I want to read what he has to say. National Office of YAF is just going, we can get you talking points is just as good. I don't see what the problem is. And the superintendent goes, he's extremist. His stance on gay marriage is offensive and extreme, and I don't want to jeopardize his student safety. I don't agree with his beliefs. I've got a gay brother. I find his beliefs offensive. I don't want him speaking on the school if I can't read what he's going to say.
So then it became more of a personal thing.
Then it became a personal thing.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what's the resolution now?
Well, after the decision was made, we had gathered a bunch of media. We had this big uproar, and they reversed the decision. The decision which I proposed initially is students opt in. Now students have to get a permission slip signed from their parents to attend the event.
Sure.
I was under the impression that all the high schools in the Grosse Pointe area would be allowed to go, which initially they were, as well as parents. That wasn't the case. They changed their mind on that as well. So now the current way it's structured is students must turn in a permission slip by the day of the event, and it's only Grosse Pointe South students from my high school only.
Do you feel in a way that you're not allowed to have your own, perspectives and viewpoints, and that is more so being dictated to you? I mean, education system is supposed to be a free and open system by which you can hear all perspectives.
Yes. For a while, there's this trust between parents and the school district. Parents send their kids to school thinking, my kid will hear both sides of the story, he'll be educated very well, they'll do a good job, he'll get A's, he'll go to college, get a nice job. That's the premise that most parents think when they view college or view high school. The issue
should be college as well.
Should be college as well.
Yeah.
The issue with the Santorum thing is that it exposed the school district as not being what parents hoped it would be. It's not being balanced. It's not showing both sides of the story. And they're propagating only one ideal, and it's an ideal they don't agree with.
What kind of support have you gotten?
We've gotten tons of support. In fact, the very first night the event was canceled, that night we received enough phone calls to raise $40,000 in funds
Wow.
from people in the community who said, if you can't have them at your school, we'll host them somewhere else for you.
Wow.
And we proposed that to the superintendent, and he still was, under no circumstances will Santorum speak on any of my school's property.
Incredible.
During school hours.
Now, so the event will go on as
Yes.
planned. You will have the opt-in system.
Yes.
So, is there anything further you think that needs to be pursued, in this trial or whatever you see it
At
as?
the last minute, at the last possible second, we pushed for Senator Santorum to stay afterwards. We got the superintendent to agree that he should stay afterwards for a meet and greet. This meet and greet, more of a questions and answers, very informal.
Sure.
Meet the senator personally, was open for the entire community and all the schools to come. So that was the way we could get everyone involved after school, after the actual speaking event. But no, it's not over. Once the speaking event happens, it isn't over. Dr. Harwood made a mistake. He didn't own up to responsibility, but he has shown us that, one, he's not open to new ideas. Two, he has his own agenda, a liberal agenda at that he's pushing on the student body. And three, he's not a leader. He behaved unprofessionally. He made a lot of personal attacks, made a lot of attacks at myself, a lot of attacks at Santorum that were totally uncalled for. And I hope he's held accountable for his actions, whether the school district holds him accountable or whether the people recall him as superintendent. Something will be done to make sure that action is
Now,
taken.
I have to tell you that I applaud you because as we're sitting here, to be a young black conservative, Grosse Pointe is a suburb of Detroit.
Yes.
Hats off to you because I know that it is absolutely tough for taking the stand that you stand. Is this the first time that you run into some, obstacles, as far as,
No.
professing your perspectives and your, ideology,
Not
political
at all.
ideology?
I'm a very aggressive person overall. That's how I am. But
Oh, when have y'all ever seen that before, huh?
I got that way because I had to constantly defend myself from other people attacking.
Sure.
And I began to go from just the more that people with different viewpoints challenged what I believed, the stronger my argument got.
Yes.
And it got to the point where I can now stand up to the school and say, I'm not going to sit down and let you just bully me like this. So always in my career. I'm a part of Jack and Jill. I don't know if you know what that is, but Jack
Oh,
and
I
Jill
know
of
Jack and
America.
Jill.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Georgia, so I know Jack and
Yeah,
Jill.
so as you can imagine, Jack and Jill has
Well,
a lot
explain
of,
it to the viewers about Jack.
for people
just
who
briefly.
don't know what Jack and Jill is, Jack and Jill essentially is an organization designed for black Americans of the same social class to meet other black Americans of that social class because they weren't allowed to be part of other activities in the early
Debutante balls, things of that nature.
stuff like that nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in Jack and Jill there are a lot of Democrats who call me Uncle Tom and say that I'm betraying my race because I'm not falling in line with what they believe in. So yeah, I've had attacks from all sides.
No, it's interesting enough because Jack and Jill kind of represents the 1%
Yeah, it does.
in the black community, but yet they are attacking you for having conservative viewpoints, limited government, fiscal responsibility, individual sovereignty, free market. So it is kind of an oxymoron that they would do that, castigating against the principles that enable them to be where they are.
I agree. Not all Jack and Jill members are Democrats.
Sure.
There are a lot of Republicans in there as well, but the Democrats are very outspoken.
Yeah.
Very wanted to go toe to toe with you, and so I had to. That really strengthened my argument and maybe be a little bit more aggressive in my pursuits in defending what I believe in.
Now, what's the future for you? You're a senior at Grosse Pointe South High School. Where do you go from there?
Yes, well, I will be going to Hillsdale College.
The citadel of conservative thought?
Yes. I also have been, it's been recommended to me, and I'm not ruling this out, a run for county commissioner in my county.
Incredible.
I've been told that there's a very good chance of giving them a run for the money. We don't really often have Republicans fight that battle, so I'm looking forward to possibly being able to do that. And so I'm very excited. I'll be studying economics at Hillsdale. I'll probably go for a master's in economics, and I'll probably take a career path in politics. No, that doesn't work out.
Now,
Economics.
what does it mean for you to be here at the Reagan Ranch Center and to have visited the Reagan Ranch itself?
To me, it's just a legacy of conservatism. To me, it's a reminder of where we were as a country and how well we did and how we've lost that track. So to me, it's almost like educating me on, here's the answer to the problem to our nation. You have to go forth and bring it to the forefront.
Now, that being the challenge for you as a member of the next generation, what's your biggest fear when you look out there and you see the direction that this country is heading for you and your pursuits and your objectives in life?
I think my biggest fear is going to be the apathy. I think the biggest problem we'll face is apathy. I think students are so apathetic to political issues that by the time they actually do care, it'll be too late. We'll already have done away with free enterprise. We'll have done away with individualism, and we'll be redoing the Constitution. Who knows what could happen in the future? So I think one of the biggest issues we're going to face and are facing is apathy. And we've got to show people the dangers that we're playing with liberalism and how it has such a horrible effect on this country, and educating people and showing them that there is a solution, and the way we're going down is not that solution. Unless you wake up, there's no stopping it.
Well, Langston, I tell you, I believe that your future is going to be incredibly bright. You know, not just county commission, but things on and beyond that. And any way that I can ever be in your corner, you please let me know.
Sounds wonderful.
So, Langston, thanks for joining us.
It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for joining us here on Next Generation TV. And anytime you get the chance to support young men and women such as a Langston, let them know that they can be supported, because it is very difficult to stand against the tide. As Thomas Jefferson once said, in matters of style, swim with the current. In matter of principle, stand like a rock. It's Alan West. Thanks for watching.